Hello and welcome to Skopje for this new edition of Europe District. Skopje, the capital of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, also known as FYROM, a quirky acronym which is deeply unpopular here in the country. 20 years after the declaration of independence, Greece still denies its northern neighbour the right to use the term Macedonia, saying it implies a claim on a Greek province of the same name. In this programme, we'll make you discover this multi-ethnic nation of 2 million. We'll meet the country's Roma community and we'll drink coffee with a living legend, the singer Esma Recepova, also known as the Queen of the Gypsies. And finally, we'll travel to the beautiful lake of Ohrid. But first, like most nations in the Western Balkans, Macedonians are eager to join the European Union. They gained EU candidate status in 2005, but the long-standing dispute with Greece over the very name of this country remains a significant obstacle to full membership, as Valérie Labonne finds out for us.
Welcome to Boris Tanevsky's ethnographic museum. He built it with his own hands to protect his nation's heritage. He's proud of his country and says he's ready to die for it. The idea of changing its name doesn't even bear thinking about.
Many people deny the existence of a Macedonian identity. That's why I wanted to show them that Macedonian traditions are very old, maybe some of the oldest in the world.
About 30 kilometres away across the border lies Florina, a small town located in the Greek region of Macedonia. And here it's unthinkable that the neighbouring country would claim the name.
Because we think that, and here is Macedonia.
This is not Macedonia. Macedonia is something that has to deal with Greece. If you look the past, the history.
The only name that Greeks recognise is the one seen on signs, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, or FYROM, a phrase instead of a word, a symbol of the 20-year dispute between Greece and Macedonia, which started with the latter country's independence in 1991. Greece refused to recognise the country as Macedonia, fearing it would pave the way for territorial claims on all of the Macedonian regions from Greece to Bulgaria. The partition of historic Macedonia dates back to the First Balkan War of 1912.
Nobody has exclusivity on the name and what the name implies. It's 3 countries, 3 peoples, 3 different identities. So a distinction between the 3, that's all we want.
Greeks also accuse Macedonians of hijacking ancient Macedonia's heritage. In 1995, Greece forced its neighbour to change its flag, which up to then displayed the Virgina sun, the symbol of the Greek region. In the same year, Skopje agreed to renounce any territorial claim in exchange for Athens not blocking the country's entry into international organisations. The promise wasn't kept. During the 2008 NATO summit in Bucharest, Greece used its veto. Macedonia retaliated by taking Greece to the International Court of Justice.
In the last 20 years since Macedonia is an independent country, we have never had any single security incident. We have offered our hand of cooperation, so therefore I think that now it is about Greece to show some bigger sense for pragmatism.
Tensions between the two countries have got worse since the Conservatives won power in Macedonia in 2006. Prime Minister Gruevski considers the non-recognition of the nation's constitutional name, the Republic of Macedonia, a negation of its people's identity. Skopje has launched a new series of symbolic attacks. It's named its international airport after Alexander the Great, the hero of ancient Greece, and the project Skopje 2014 plans on building a 22-metre-high statue of the Greek king on the main square, a way for Gruevski to show off his nationalist streak.
I think that they're firm in their determination not to go there with the solution about the name issue because they think that the political price should be so high for them to sustain the power after that eventual solution.
Brussels is losing its patience in the face of endless provocations from Macedonian authorities and a lack of real political will to find a consensus with the Greeks. The country's accession to the EU is conditional on the resolution of its name problem. North Macedonia, Republic of Macedonia Skopje, or even Vardar Macedonia, Negotiators are being creative, but the political will to find a solution can come only from the Macedonians themselves.
We're still in Skopje and you can see the old fortress behind me. Earlier we met the Macedonian president, George Ivanov. We asked him why it is that 20 years after the declaration of independence of his country, Skopje and Athens haven't yet managed to settle the issue of the name.
The strategic priorities of my country, that is, joining the EU and NATO, have been hindered by an absurd dispute with a country that has a problem with the name of another country. Therefore, we are in a deadlock. We would like to see Greece act in a more European manner. The launching of negotiations will be a positive signal to the entire region. We have demonstrated a constructive attitude on many occasions. But Greeks can live with this situation for decades because they do not suffer any consequences or damage by blocking us. We suffer the consequences of their problem with us. Our position is that we must come to a mutually acceptable solution, which will later be confirmed by our people in a referendum. The identity of our people is being denied. The language we use in this country, the Macedonian language, is also being denied.
Standing here in front of the Macedonian government on top of a never-ending dispute with Greece over the name of this country, the government is also caught in a deep political crisis, with the opposition calling for early elections and accusing the government of suppressing media freedom. Let's watch our next report.
It's the country's most watched newscast. It's broadcast live from the street, right in front of the government building. Journalists from the A1 private TV station have been here every night for the last 3 months.
They decided to freeze the station's bank accounts, preventing us from operating normally. So we're anchoring the newscast from here to protest against this anti-democratic decision.
For months, the Prime Minister has tried to discredit A1, accusing the station of being a mouthpiece for the opposition. Late last year, authorities searched the station and arrested its owner, media tycoon Valita Ramkovski. He's accused of tax evasion to the tune of €17.5 million. As well as having its assets frozen, A1 has received a heavy fine. Journalists say it's payback for criticising the government.
I don't have any answer. Would you like to come to participate in my program? There is no answer. It's boycott.
Why do you think they're doing that?
Because we are critical.
Journalists can't say there's no freedom of expression, because in this country there are debates in the media every day. There is freedom. Everyone can express their opinion and hear different voices. There is one thing, though: criminals cannot be tolerated.
Opposition MPs are crying foul against what they see as the state's attempt to muzzle the only independent media. For 2 months now, the Social Democratic Party has been boycotting Parliament, plunging the country into an unprecedented political crisis and forcing the government to call a snap election.
We know we triggered this crisis. It's a cry for help. We want to be heard by the citizens, the international community, and the government. In Macedonia, especially in the last 2 years, there has been a real political, economic, social and moral crisis.
With Prime Minister Nicolae Gruevski way ahead in the polls, the opposition say it's now more than ever their voice needs to be heard. But no live televised debate between Gruevski and Social Democratic leader Branko Trevănovski is on the cards. It's a tense situation. No one wants to see a repeat of the last elections in 2008, which were marred by violence and fraud.
We're in the north of Skopje and you can see Shuta Orizari behind me. This is a Roma municipality run by a Roma mayor, quite a unique case in the whole of Europe. Shuta Orizari remains one of the poorest areas in the whole of Macedonia. Unemployment here reaches record levels, but many say that in this country the Roma community is better integrated and represented than in the rest of Europe. But is it really the case? We'll ask Ahmet Yashar. He's a Roma actor. He lives round the corner. Shukar dire, Ahmet.
Shukar dire, Christophe.
How you say it? Good day in Romania, right?
Shukar dire, yes.
Shukar dire. Okay.
Welcome. Come
Thank
inside.
you very much. Ahmet, tell us more about yourself. I've heard you're quite famous here in the area because you're an actor.
Yeah, well, yes, I'm an actor in our theater company that's called Theater Roma. We always try to present to everybody the real, true Roma identity. Our theater performances are always in the real, true Romani language.
So, Ahmet, this is the famous bazaar of Shutka. It's been known for decades.
Well, yes, Christophe, this is a big bazaar. And here you can find a lot of things like shoes, like clothes, like perfume. And it's cheaper. That's why people come here to buy things. It's very hard for a Roma guy to find work here somewhere. And I think maybe this is the main reason why this bazaar is born, because the Roma couldn't find any work any places. So they kind of started this big bazaar just for a living. Now I want you to meet Zoran Dimov. He runs a Roma language TV station. It's called BTR. So let's go.
Mr. Dimov, Ahmet told me that your channel was set up in 1992. How easy was it for you to create from scratch a Roma language channel?
Our mission is to promote Roma culture here in Macedonia. But look, the Macedonian government only finances 1% of all Roma cultural activities.
No.
Our big challenge is the poor level of education. Roma have difficulties finding jobs. Many Roma parents have not had the opportunity to give their children a good education. As a result, 90% of Macedonia's Roma remain unemployed. And Roma politicians here in Macedonia are not at all interested in helping their community. They're only interested in keeping their positions in the government.
Ahmet, we're now standing in front of the house of somebody very special here.
Yes, we're actually standing in front of the house of Esma Recepova. She's, as you know, the world gypsy queen, and she has an incredible voice. So let's go and see her.
Mrs. Recepova, hello. You're the pride of the Roma community here in Macedonia, famous around the world. Why do you think it is that your music speaks so much to a large audience?
This year I'm celebrating 50 years on the stage. Music is a very special language. What's important is the way an artist sings and conveys emotion to the public. I think I know very well how to communicate these emotions to the public, to the people.
You're an example of integration in the Roma community, but how would you assess the situation for the rest of the Roma population here?
First of all, I want to say that I'm the first artist to have sung in the Roma language on Radio Skopje. Macedonia hasn't tried to forcefully integrate Roma people. It's given them the possibility of education and going to school. They've been allowed to go out in town, to go to cafes and cinemas. There's nothing that's been denied to them in Macedonia. Roma are very cosmopolitan. They are really good people who've never occupied any territory, who've never been at war with anyone. In my songs and writings, there's nothing nationalist. I'm going to tell you the story of a garden full of trees and flowers. A passerby says to one of these flowers, "You don't have the right to grow here, but the flower will continue to grow regardless. You know, we, Roma people, are like these flowers."
Well, before we leave, we can't resist. We'd like you to sing us your favourite song. Ahmed, it seems we're back at the bazaar, but the shops are closed and the traders are gone.
Well, the bazaar is transforming into a beautiful square where people have a good walk here, or people with little children with their family can just come here and have a good time.
Okay, well, brilliant. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for being our guide here in Shoto Orizari.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure meeting you, and good luck with your theatre.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching the first part of Europe District. We'll be back after the news break. That's in 10 minutes, so please stay with us.